It's the middle of the night on the flight line, and a squadron of F-22 Raptors is prepped for their first major overseas deployment. These jets are fully fueled, armed, and physically flawless, but the launch has just hit a wall. Here, you see Air Force personnel hunched over diagnostic equipment right on the tarmac. A crew chief is trying to load the deployment package, but the system is throwing a critical authentication error. The pilots are in the ready room. The $150 million airframes are fully operational, yet an entire squadron of the world's most advanced stealth fighters is stuck on the ground, held back by an invisible barrier they can't fly around. The point of failure looks exactly like this. It's a ruggedized military laptop running the Integrated Maintenance Information System, or IMIS. IMIS is the gatekeeper for the aircraft, and right now it is outright refusing to validate the jet's mission data loaders. Physical hardware answers to digital infrastructure. If the database governing a fake-generation stealth fighter decides to throw a fatal error, that jet instantly becomes a 40,000-pound paperweight. The Raptor has radar-evading capabilities and supercruise engines that push the limits of modern physics. But the logistics framework determining whether it's allowed to turn those engines on was built on a back-end architecture older than the jet itself. Before an F-22 can take off, it has to digest a massive payload of data. Encrypted mission loaders, detailed maintenance logs, and gigabytes of airframe health diagnostics must constantly sync and verify with command. All that data leads back to a place that looks like this: dense server racks filled with blinking indicator lights. This rigid infrastructure is the true engine of the aircraft. The engineering conflict here is brutal. The physical jet was designed to strike targets anywhere on the globe in hours. But the database telling it what to do was hardwired to never leave its home subnet. To understand exactly how the system broke, we have to look at how it was built. The IMIS database operated as a tightly closed data silo, relying on strict network assumptions cemented in the 1990s. The central server inside a US base relies on fixed domains, creating a closed loop locked to domestic data loaders. When deploying overseas, the database hits a foreign subnet. Because that new IP doesn't match the hard-coded list, the connection path breaks. The database doesn't know it's on a friendly deployment. It sees an unrecognized foreign IP and interprets it as a hostile threat, instantly locking down all critical data transfers to completely protect the aircraft. Compounding the crisis is a missing feature. There was no offline first mode available. Maintainers on the flight line had zero override authority to bypass the network check and manually authorize the flight. The rigid, static schema design created a dangerous operational trap. A weapon system built to cross oceans was held prisoner by its own localized network rules. Out on the tarmac, the clock is ticking. The massive jets have to fly tonight. The squadron commanders cannot wait for a multi-year Pentagon software procurement cycle to patch the codebase. The immediate fix happens right here in the dirt. IT engineers drag out a portable military satellite dish, scrambling to establish a ruggedized tactical uplink in the field to completely bypass the local base network. They virtualize a local node in the field, building a secure proxy tunnel back to the US. They take the foreign data packet and wrap it in a Nevada IP disguise, tricking the master database into thinking it's in the American Southwest. It works. The master database looks at the connection, sees a familiar Nevada IP location, and authenticates the system. Maintenance logs sync up, the mission packages load, and the jets finally launch. The first overseas deployment of the most advanced fighter in the world succeeded because frantic IT operators duct-taped a network bridge together and lied to their own servers. The mission was a success, but the morning after revealed a massive problem. The underlying logistics architecture was still dangerously fragile. This forced an immediate administrative mandate. The Air Force had to initiate a massive system refactor to rip out the hard-coded legacy silo entirely. The rebuild required an entirely new set of modern architectural standards. The team shifted the system from closed, static silos to distributed trust domains that could dynamically accept new IP addresses on the fly. Ignoring your database architecture doesn't mean you avoid the work. It simply guarantees that you will have to rebuild the entire system under the worst possible operational conditions. Look at these F-22s soaring effortlessly over the ocean. This is the final state of the deployment. made possible only after the airframe was properly integrated with modern, cloud-assisted, offline-first maintenance workflows. The physical airframe was built for absolute invisibility, yet its original, hard-coded data footprint was glaringly visible, fragile, and highly restrictive. Stealth technology does a brilliant job of hiding a billion-dollar machine from enemy radar. But no organization can hide from the consequences of its own broken database schema.